how did this research then, and the results from this research that Julian undertook and took us through, how did these results drive the game we have eventually developed to this stage?
Yeah, I mean, so I think several ways, but I mean, just to highlight a couple. I think the first is that what often I've seen, I've been working across this space for 14 years. What I've often seen so many times over a number of years is a group of people from the client side or from our side generally sit in a room and come up with some ideas, pitch them to the client likes one of them, and then that's the one that ends up being built or delivered without really it touching any user or any feedback from user being fed into that process. And so having someone like Julian involved is just like gold dust for us, because actually the first learning was that, we made several assumptions in that first process. Angus visited us in London. The team came up with some ideas. Some of them we really liked. You have that whole groupthink process going on. And then, 3 or 4 of the ideas that our team really liked, the Superbet users just didn't go for. And so I think, that process, in terms of what we learned from it is that, we'd made several assumptions in the concepts we'd come up with. And, we needed to listen to the users. And the second was, the whole process gave us a far better understanding of, why Superbet's users, want to play these games. And that touched a few of the sort of game mechanics and the way we offer prizing, etc., that we ended up developing when the product development started. For example, Superbet's users told us that actually they didn't like long leaderboard. They liked the idea of a sense of, when they play these games, a sense of always being able to win. So the concept of which is prevalent in many of these games, of a long leaderboard where potentially you could be on 2000th place in this leaderboard was something we really wanted to avoid. So we introduced this concept when developing the product in this sort of MVP phase of the project of developing regenerative leaderboards of 20 users. So that allowed us to allowed Superbet to incentivize with a prize, but gave the feeling to users entering the game that they could win each time they entered, because they're only playing against 19 other users. So it was incredibly useful. I'd encourage other clients to take a similar approach, and it's something that we're trying to bring to other customers moving forward in other projects. It was really useful.